Good day, traders. This is Rich with some weekend action on the markets. Currently 11:53 a.m., December 5th, 2020. Looking at a trade I took this past month of November. I was going to do a November overview, but Tradestation is having reporting issues where I'm not able to get clean numbers of what I did. And I really wanted to show the equity curve. Now I can do like a daily or a couple dailies, maybe even a week. But then once I do the whole month, it kind of just adds all these extra numbers, extra trades, closed them out like later when they were closed that same day type of thing. So I don't know if there's a bug in their reporting and I need to contact their support. So for now, I am just going to go over a trade I took on, I believe it was November 30th. Yep, here's the video. 9:42 a.m. I was starting the day. I think I lost on a trade. And I just want to go over this one because this is an interesting one. And it's one you would want to watch because it's a fast trader, big mover. It just shows how much share size you need to take for what I would like to take. Like a $47 stock. In the future, I want to be at like 1,000 shares. That's not even that much margin, to be honest with you. I can even take, 3,000 shares on this thing. But if you watch the price action, you look at the chart, already the price range is 44 to 50. We're talking 6 points. So this is a big mover, and if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can get whipped for a point or two in a matter of seconds and be crushed. So I knew about this stock from previous days. I talked about it in one of my videos, how I lost on it and then it ran like forever. This is the old KCAC, which I did well on one time. I lost on QS and then I nailed this one. I did talk about this in a video, but I wanted to just kind of show you the actual trade and what I did wrong, what I did right, and maybe, this is kind of inspiration and, all that stuff to try to help you guys out. It's unfortunate I can't do the November video, but we'll just make this count, and hopefully I'll do a matrix video tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on time. So what I'm looking at here is this is a nice setup. We have a nice move up. EV, I believe this was, their EV play. Battery or SPAC or whatever, huge volume in this thing, huge volume in that sector that day, and I just liked it. It was coming up. The actual number, it did get to 50. Usually that little spike, if it had controlled a little candle there, I would consider 50 as the entry, but it's actually 48 for me on this one. Because the opening price was 48.09. I was looking for, even though it came through 48 here and came through 48 here by like maybe 20 cents, I was looking for that next move up with the EMAs moving up and the market being strong in this sector. So I decided 48.50 was probably the second to best area to enter, because you're looking at this candle here was at like 48.50 or so. And obviously this candle you'd have to just kind of discount because it was like a spike up and then a drop down with lots of volume. But that being the case, let's just watch the video. It's 4 minutes or 6 minutes, but I'll kind of fast forward or I'll keep it going. It's all about the entry and the first really, minute that everything happens, I should say. So I'm watching 48 for the break here. I have my finger on the buy button. I have 200 shares at 48. Watch the momentum here. Okay, so it builds really fast, and I'm getting right there. Boom, I nailed that entry, right? So there, nailed the entry, and look what happens. We have 48.15 on the bid, 48.50 with sellers there. Prints are going off in the middle there, which is nice. I'm like, oof, I nailed this thing. This thing's gonna be a monster. But I know how it trades. I know it can get whippy. And if you look at 48.15 and 48.50, that's a deep spread. Of course, I'm ahead of it because my position's 48 with 200 shares. I dropped to 47. I'm down $200. I'm comfortable with that. I talk about my risk being 150, But if for this type of trade, I have to be willing to go a little bit further. My goal in the future to trade this would be 400 right now. Probably not just 200, but 400. Not 1,000, not 2,000, but like 400. So let's watch what happens here. It fights a little bit at the 50 level, and then the bids drop off a bit here. And actually, the offers drop off right there, the 48.19, 48.38. But 48's holding, okay? So we're watching 48. I'm comfortable with it. I'm watching the prints on the right side go off, and then it drops below 48. So now I'm a little nervous that it's not going to do what I expected it to do, of course. We're seeing 47.90s. And my goal is I'm willing to take it below the candle here, which is probably around 47. And that's mainly on the bid side and printing that, because if the bids or the offers are still pretty high, I'm willing to hang on. So let's watch what happens here. Instantly just flipped around, and offers jumped up and bidders tightened up between the bidders and the offers, which made me really comfortable. But I make my first sell really soon after that. And this happens to me a lot. So 48 holds here, I believe. Yeah, so I have a tendency to just, right when I see it building that little coiling momentum move, I have a tendency to make a sell and then watch what happens. So there it is. I make my first sell right there. Okay, so I made my first sell there because it wasn't getting through the 50. But look, it was printing the 50s. That was the mistake. That was the mistake of selling too soon. I think I was just thinking maybe this thing was going to drop off on me and not get through the 50. But it's this move where you can make a big amount of money on your trade by holding it just a little longer. Watch the momentum. I pause it here to show you the momentum of this move once it gets to that coiled spot. Boom. 38 cents in a matter of what? A second? 2 seconds? So I sold off that 50 shares at 50. I think my sell was, actually it was a bad fill. It was a 48.30 sell. So that's 50. We'll call it 58 cents. Printing 90 here. That was a mistake. Obviously, I'm happy because I'm up on this trade. I closed out 50. I only got $15. $15 on those 50 shares. I'm only in for 200. It's not a ton. But now I'm like, okay, I just made that mistake. I'm holding this thing. So let's play it. Rips through 49. Rips through 49. Imagine if I just held that little bit. Okay, let's just go back and see how far that really was when I made that first sell. Okay, so here I'm at 200 shares. I sell right there. 1, 2, 3, call it 4 seconds. And it's at 49, printing 49.79, 49.95. 49.5? That's how this thing can move. So by selling those too soon, I missed out on call it $80 instead of $15. Yeah, would I have gotten them off there? It was so fast. Probably not. But let's continue on here. So I'm waiting for the matrix to catch up there. So we just caught up there, and I'm looking at these prices. I'm looking, okay, 51 is about $450 with 150 shares. I'm seeing 21,000 on the 50. If it gets through this, we're looking really, really good. But I'm only selling 25 now. I've reduced my lot amount from 50 to 25. So watch what happens here. Took some off there. Did not get through the 50, and I got a fill at 49.65. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm closed out for $56. Still have 125 left. My gain, if I sold it all right now, will be 143. Let's continue. Just momentum on this thing is just insane. Watch this move here. I just sold more. Why did I sell more there? There was no reason to sell more. It was still holding up. Look at this candle. It's extended. It's very extended. But there was no reason for me to sell there. There was no reason for me to sell there. I wanted to get through 50. This is kind of ugly because there's like pretty even amounts at the 50 level. But look at this. Big support here at 49. The only problem with this is it's at 49. It's pretty low down. So I wasn't worried about going against me at this point. 48 was my entry. So let's continue. Bam. Busted through 50 like it's nobody's business. How many seconds was that from that previous sell? Maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Printing at 32, printing at 48. Continue. 51. We're at 51 now, guys. 51 on this. We have support now here. Oh my God. 305. I sold it all right here. I'm only up $87 and I sold 100 shares there. The stock is up 3 points. So that's poor. That's poor. I needed to hold, and I needed to take some off, but I don't think I needed to take off 100. So let's continue, right? Continue on. Okay, so it's making new highs. I definitely take some off there. Okay, so that was a good spot. 51.45, solid sell right there. Imagine that was my first sell. Yeah, hindsight's 2020. Let's not forget that. But I knew this stock was just the strongest stock if it gets its momentum, and it broke out the 50 high, and just solid trading right now on this particular stock, not by me. I'm not doing quite well, so I'm up $173 at this point, so I'm feeling pretty good. Looking for another move. Okay, so now we just made new highs. New highs. 52 coming. 52. Rips through 52. I'm still in for those 75 shares. We're seeing 45 prints. Now this is where I need to be selling. Now we're super extended. I have a 328 gain if I sold it all right here. Would I be happy with that? Sure, that's $500. And I reduced it to 25. I think I reduced it a little bit further, but I think I get it off here. Thinking it's going to go more. 52.80. 52.80 was the top. We talked about that in the video in the past, and I took 25 off at 52.62. So that was pretty good. 18 cents below the high of the day, and it falls off at the end of the day here, but you kind of get the point here. But watch what this thing can do. It gets a little dangerous. It just dropped to 51. Gets back up to 52 for another attempt, and this is where I'm holding some. I sold some more at 51.85. It's just so whippy. I'm not looking at this so much. I'm looking over here. But it has a tendency. So this candle is just dangerous, right? So you can see how fast it's moving. It's getting back up to 52. You're like, wow, is this going to keep going? So I keep taking shares off. Taking 25. I'll take 10 off. So I switched to 10 here. But I'm just keep on watching. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Get support here. If it breaks this 50, it's going to go down pretty good, and it does. You got to remember where I'm at here now. I'm up 385, 25 shares left. It starts dropping more. Here's an ugly looking candle now. But it hasn't closed yet, so I'm not concerned. Remember, my entry was 48, so I'm still 3 points above my entry. Now, if I sold all right here, it would be, a $500 trade as well. We had a 4-point move, or almost a 5-point move on 200 shares. So the max move would be almost $1,000, and it's dropping hard here. And I'm only in for 25 shares. I'm looking to close. I forgot why I was looking to close. I guess maybe the overall market conditions. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really remember, but just took 10 off there for 50. So that's 2 points. And that was like, I'm at 405 on the close. So yeah, I'm loving this trade. I'm in for 15, and I'm not really worried about what happens next because that 15 shares isn't that much, but it's enough to, if it goes up 3 points from here, it's $45 scenario. So it's still money, Let me fast forward a little bit. So you can see here, it's just dying, and I get out pretty quick here. So I send in a market order and just get out. It does rip back up a little bit to about 50, I believe, and then turns around. We'll fast forward. So it got up to about 50 again, and then it goes below my entry some point. There's the 50, and then here it comes, and then almost down to my entry. I think I closed the video. All right, I stopped the video. So it did get close to my entry, but you can see here about to hit the 47, and it does. And actually, this was the high of the day. So I got the trade. I got in on this thing. I closed out 419. That first sell was probably the one that really hurt. Go back to that real quick. I just want to nail this point home to me and to you guys. Is like, you got to give it that extra second. If it finally is going to try to take out that 50 or some kind of resistance level, it's when it does that on a stock like this. Look at this thing. I'm selling there, boom, and just rips a second later for another 50 cents. And then even further after that. And I didn't think it was going to do that, which was insane. So something to keep in mind on for the future. I just want to show this trade because I wasn't able to do that equity thing. And I will be back either tomorrow or Monday. You guys have a good one. Sorry for making a long video. You can fast forward. I hope you fast forward. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment. And you guys have a good weekend.